Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm your host, Sareth Ney, and every Stand Up Speakeasy, I bring on a comic. And tomorrow, or February, May 18th at 9 p.m., we're having a show at Orlando Fringe. So without further ado, welcome to the stage, Ross McCoy. Hey, Ross.
Hey, Sareth.
How are you, pal?
I'm so good.
Awesome, awesome. Cool background you got there.
Thank you. That's a painting by my son.
Awesome. Good stuff, good stuff.
hmm
Yeah. Which one? You have three of them.
That's the oldest.
Awesome. Good stuff. And you're a house dad and you're a stay at home dad and all that
Yeah,
good
I
stuff.
say housewife now. I just say housewife. That's the closest approximation to what I do.
Awesome. For 20 years.
Yes, that is correct.
Good
That
stuff. Do
that
you love
is
it?
correct. No, I'm pretty ready to be over it. I was just thinking about it. My youngest is going to be out of high school in 2 years, and I'm ready to make my wife let me go back to work.
There you go.
hmm
Wow. That's good stuff, though. It teaches you a lot of patience for 20 years.
It's true.
Indeed. What are the highs and lows?
Highs and lows.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of my kids drowned one time, so there's your low.
Oh,
You've heard that story before, right?
yep. You
I
shared
told
on
you I
that.
wanted to come on your storytelling show and tell that story, and you refused
Indeed.
me.
I did?
No, you just said it was like I'd have to drive to Jacksonville, and there's like a chance I might not get up, and I was like, well, I'm not fucking doing
Oh,
that. That show you had where it was like bucket draw, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna drive to fucking Jacksonville and take a chance.
oh, that's St. Augustine. That was the Corazon.
Whatever, Sareth. Anything an hour's drive from Orlando is Jacksonville to me.
Jacksonville.
All of Brevard is Jacksonville. Tampa's Jacksonville. Honeymoon Island, Jacksonville. Key West, that's double Jacksonville. Hey, Shadow, what's up? That's my dog.
Oh, nice dog.
It's just a cutie.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Come the next festival, we'll move the storytelling show on to your date. Then we'll.
Ooh, that's a teaser. And then I'll tell the story of how my kid drowned one time.
Indeed, that sounds really intense.
Haha.
I'm glad you saved them.
Oh yeah. Spoiler.
Yeah. Like like when I went to high school and we had to get like our Red Cross card and you had to learn how to swim,
Sure.
and I forced them to give me my Red Cross card because I wasn't going to do this swimming class anymore because I was like, this Asian does not swim. It's just a horrible thing.
What did you not like about swimming?
Just I was chunky back then, so I had to wear a shirt, and I was like, I'm not getting wet.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
I'm still chunky, but I'm like,
Uh,
I didn't want to look chunky in front of my classmates.
no, I get it. I was a fat kid. I was a
Awesome.
pull in the shirt kid. Yeah, yeah,
It's more to love, you know what I mean?
yeah. Haha.
That's right. So you've been on 104.1 Real Radio. Like I know that you've been on a mediocre time with Tom and Dan too. So what were those days and years like?
Yeah. I mean, well, you're ignoring. I used to call into the hideout all the time. I used to call into Buckethead. I've been on real radio for fucking years, dude. And then yeah, Tom and Dan. That was fun. I remember the first day we got on the radio with a corporate time, and like the family got into the car. We all went and got like McDonald's or something and listened to it. It was fun. It's fun to be on the radio. I liked radio since I was a kid. That's what I used to do when I was a kid, like from like fucking 6 year old. The first time I got to have my own radio, basically. I'd stay up and you get sent to bed, and I'd stay up at night and just listen to my radio until I fell asleep.
Wow, I did that too with Delilah. She was
Delilah. Yeah, dude.
yeah, because
She
like
did long distance dedications, just like Casey Kasem, like fucking. Yeah, she'd like if your girl broken up with you, you wanted to get her back, she'd play a tune for you. Yeah, Delilah was the shit, dude.
hell yeah, dude. I only listened to her because like I watched Candyman and it scared me for 6 years, and she was the only one that could put me to bed.
Delilah.
Love someone tonight.
Delilah was very often followed by a version of The Quiet Storm. Every station that played Delilah had a The Quiet Storm,
What's
and
the
then that would
point?
just it'd be just like jazz with like a little bit of rain over it. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking The Quiet Storm, and then they some jazz horn.
Ah, I just know the Winter Storm. That's about it.
we used to put the kids to sleep to the radio, and the smooth jazz station was the fucking go-to. Because, like, first of all, very little commercials. I don't even think there is a smooth jazz station anymore.
I
I don't think that
don't.
exists. That's probably on HD radio. There probably is on the HD radio and the stations between the stations of it all. But on your mainstream dial, I don't even think. And that used to be a staple. Every town had a fucking smooth jazz station.
Mm-hmm. Here's some Kenny G or something.
Exactly, dude.
And
Have you heard that Kenny G The Weekend collaboration?
no, but on the way to my house, the weekend came on the radio and it made me think of you right away.
Creepin', Creepin's on the fucking radio like crazy right now. Was it Creepin'?
Uh, I'll have to check it out. Creeping is like it's like they took they sampled a song right from like
Yeah, they'd
early
almost have
2000s.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think so.
indeed. Okay, now it's all coming back to me now, like uh Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now.
That's good.
Uh, I'm a cheese ball. Uh,
Haha.
good stuff. So you were also on Doug Loves Movies, and that's a big deal, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what
I was on
episode were
Douglas
you
movies
on?
all the time.
Oh, what episode were you on when you were talking about movies with Doug?
Man, I fucking forget, and I don't think it's hard to find now. I've looked for it to listen back to it, but I couldn't find it, dude. Like the only thing you can find is the Reddit thread where they're bitching about me on it. That yeah, no, just Google my name and Douglas movies, and that'll pop up, and it's a fun read. But here's the thing, because like at the time, to be fair, when it happened, I thought I bombed. I thought I ate a fucking dick. But listening back, because I was throwing shit out there and I was getting nothing back, so I was like, oh fuck, I'm eating a dick. And it did stress me out a little bit, and I did try to amp it up a little bit. And no matter how much I amped it up, I was getting nothing back, and I fucking thought I was eating a dick. But when I did listen back to it, like a week or two later, I did all right. It's just that I was on stage with Doug and Daniel Van Kirk as Mark Wahlberg and like two other LA comics who Doug just randomly bumped into on the plane because he booked me real early, and I don't think he had like a stellar lineup when he booked me necessarily. On the recommendation of my friend Joe Pettis. Thank you, Joe Pettis. And so he brought Daniel Van Kirk, who did Mark Wahlberg, which is like one of the most not just Doug Loves Movies characters, but like one of the characters that like people who listens to the podcast fucking love is Daniel Van Kirk, specifically doing Mark Wahlberg. So I was like at the end of that chain, and it wasn't that I was eating a dick. It's just that like I wasn't Daniel Van Kirk as Mark Wahlberg, you know, like that. He was getting all the reaction, and then I would say something that was all right, but it just wasn't that. Yeah.
Wow,
And on Reddit, they fucking hated me, as I think I mentioned.
I'll have to Google it for sure. And
They called me
again,
like a local radio asshole and stuff like that on the Reddit. It was pretty fucking funny.
damn, it's so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Reddit, like people are just mean on the internet. They're just
And I fucked up. I was like, I made a classic Doug Loves Movies mistake, and I should have known better because I did listen to Doug Loves Movies at the time. I brought way too much shit for the prize bag. I brought a bunch of shit for the prize bag, and Doug hates that. He just wants you to bring one thing and be fucking done with it. And I fucking forgot, and I just brought a bunch of shit. I brought like a bottle of rum and a fucking dabbing bong and a bunch of other shit. It was too much stuff,
wow.
and that was a classic mistake. And then also that show, Doug was pissed because so we're at the Orlando Improv again. It's Doug Benson. It's fucking Daniel Van Kirk as Mark Wahlberg. Like literally the hottest fucking thing you could see in a live podcast. Like literally anywhere at the time, anyway. And these other two solid LA comics, and then at the Orlando Improv, and there was a table of two right up front that wouldn't shut the fuck up. These two ladies were having a conversation this fucking loud because we were like a foot away doing a comedy show, so they were talking to each other like this fucking loud. Like in the middle of Doug Loves Movies. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Doug Benson at all, but he doesn't like that shit. That is like his least favorite fucking thing in the world. And so at a certain point during the show, like it became apparent it was distracting him, and he asked them to shut up a couple times, and they like didn't even acknowledge him. They just kept having a conversation like they were at fucking home. I swear to fucking God. And then Doug said enough times like, hey, please stop, please stop, please stop. That he was like, listen, I'm sorry, the show can't continue until they're ejected from the improv. And so like that process began almost immediately. But as you might understand about these two ladies, they weren't cool about it. So it took a minute. And so Doug Benson, in the middle of his own fucking podcast, went, I'm just going to sing, that song in Willy Wonka where they go into the tunnel or whatever, and Willy Wonka sings a weird song. Doug Benson goes, I want to sing that weird song until these ladies are kicked out. And he fucking did. He sang
Wow.
that song for however fucking long it was until they got those two ladies up and out of the improv, and then big round of applause. But it was a little bit weird after that. It was a little bit weird.
Wow. Some people, it's like they should, know where they're at. It's like,
This was egregious, Sareth. It was not just like, it wasn't Doug being picky even. These ladies were having a full-blown conversation. And again, like the four of us professional comics on stage with microphones got, the louder they got to have their conversation. It was egregious.
wow, good Lord. How long ago was this?
I mean, like, could you think of a worse place to try to have a conversation? Even if you're trying to have a conversation, like, you'd think you'd be like, this is a terrible place to do. I don't know. Obviously, we don't share a mindset with that kind of person.
Right? It's like the library and then the front row at a comedy show.
And then, Sareth,
Yeah.
me and Doug and one of the other comics was hanging out at the Improv Bar for a minute, and I got a wedge salad. It was delicious, but I got a bacon bit lodged under my tongue that I couldn't get out for like 3 fucking months, dude. It was crazy.
It must have been really soggy, I guess.
No, it was like a big chunky bacon bit, and I don't know if you've ever done this. I did this weird move where I kind of swallowed it, but it like swirled around, and somehow you got these little tonsillar cavities or whatever up behind your tongue, and somehow it wedged up in there. And I just could not get this fucker out. It was in there, I swear to God, for fucking months. I finally was like, I'm going to the CVS, I'm buying a water pick, and this thing's coming out, or I'm gonna just fucking blow my brains out because I'm over this. And the water pick, dink, knocked it right out at that point. It was a miracle. It does that same little swirly motion with water up back. If you get it, like if you hook it right in there, it's fucking amazing relief. That's my Douglas Benson, Douglas movie story there, Sarah.
That's awesome, man.
And then he found Matt Fernandez, and he never called me again.
I don't know who Matt Fernandez is.
Oh, from Tampa, he's like the fucking best, and he's on Douglas movies all the time, or he was anyway back in the day.
I'll have to take a look for sure. And Daniel Van Kirk's a big deal now. I mean, he's has the Roy Scovel podcast together, and then I saw him in Jacksonville with Andrew Youngblood from Texas, and it was like Chris Buck was on the show too, I think, and it was just an awesome thing. It was just
and I can't stress this enough. He was a big deal also at the time, and that Mark Wahlberg character, people fucking loved it. It was just like it was like being next to the sun. It was unbelievable.
And like if you get the chance to see him do stand up and you get to see his closing bit, he makes everyone give him a standing ovation in the coolest
He's
way.
really funny, and he's also there's this podcast I like that is defunct now, but you can still download it, called The Crab Feast, and it was a storytelling podcast, and it was a storytelling podcast I kind of modeled my podcast on when I started. And Daniel Van Kirk on that is one of my top favorite guests. He comes in a number of times. He was in the FBI. He tells all kinds of really cool stories. He is a fucking great storyteller.
I need to look that up because I'm a storyteller now. So it's the host. I watch his podcast a lot. Sickler, right? Ryan Sickler.
Sickler, yeah, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. Ryan Sickler and Jay Larson was the other host. Yeah, and storytelling podcast, and they get great guests, amazing guests. Two of my favorites. Check out the Crab Feast. Check out, like I said, Dan Van Kirk, Steve Cantwell, and Josh Adam Myers, dude. If you just that's probably like 12 podcasts you could download tonight and just fucking listen to through the fucking next weekend.
Wow, I'll definitely take a look at that because like Ryan Sickler's laugh just gets me every single time.
I love Sickler. Sickler is I love him. I think he is one of the most genuine people on mic, and I like him a lot.
Most definitely. I saw his recent YouTube special too. That's pretty good stuff. Indeed. And man, and him and Bert Kreischer's laugh, I should put as ringtones and just like make it laugh out of nowhere. It's just fantastic.
It sounds good.
Good stuff. And you're the host of the Orlando Talk Show, which we got 2 live ones at the Nog, I remember. And what made you pick Tots with Ross?
As a name?
Yep.
The Orlando talk show seemed. First of all, I was like, "Is it taken?" It wasn't. Like nobody had it, so that was good. And then I was like, "It'll be kind of funny if the acronym is tots, and I'll make it. I'll ask a question about tater tots every time too." And except for a couple times I've forgotten, I've asked a question about tater tots every time.
Indeed. And like that whole thing is just, every single time that I've been on it and we talk about ghosts and aliens and UFOs and like which book we're reading. So which book are you currently reading?
Oh shit! What am I reading? Oh, my friend Bart Merrick from Bart Merrick Realty got he his mom had a yard sale recently, and he got me a fucking yard high stack of Florida history books. So I'm reading just this one basic Florida history book, and I'm like kind of I got a toe in it. So I'm like the Spanish just kind of have like started a couple colonies that the English are fucking with hard right now. So it's called A History of Florida, but I forget the guy's name who wrote it.
Awesome.
And
Good stuff.
it's about a foot and a half thick, and I'll probably be reading it until I die.
Jeez, a foot and a half.
No,
That's
but it's an old book. So like it's I don't know if you pick up a book nowadays, there's like 6 words on the page because they make type so big now, and they're like, that's a book. This is old school. When I think you probably got paid by the word, so like dudes really wanted to cram them in, and so to get them all on a reasonable number of pages, tiny words.
dang.
Mm,
I can only imagine. I'm currently reading How to Survive a Day Job While Pursuing the Creative Life.
that sounds good.
Indeed.
Is
It's
it good?
Yeah, it's a bunch of like little interviews, like people that wrote. Like Clive has one because I stole it from Clive when I was like
Oh
working at
shit.
AT&T. I felt
Okay.
bad. I
Okay.
was borrowing it, and then I got stuck with me. And then Tom Cruise has this portion. Stephen King, Sir Ian McKellen. So I'm like a good. I'm almost done, like 3/4 of the way done.
Are you a book thief, Sareth? Are you a book thief? Will you borrow a book and never return it?
Oh, I felt this one was by
Because
accident.
I
I was supposed to
am.
give it
I
back.
am. That used
You
to be
are?
my MO for real. Yeah. I used to be like as a kid, I loved to read and I was broke. So yeah, I would steal books under the guise of borrowing them.
Indeed. Life
Yeah, I feel bad
was.
about it now. I feel really bad. I have specific book thefts like that I can think of that I feel really bad about.
Which ones did you steal?
I stole some books from my cousin when I moved to Georgia. I got them back to you. I was moving to fucking Georgia. That's an obvious lie. And then one time, a friend of mine was like, "You can borrow this, but like I need to get it back." And I think it's still on my bookshelf right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were there any like goosebumps or anything back?
No, this is just an all copy on the road and like a paperback ass copy on there. Nothing special, but like she really did specifically ask me to make sure to give it back. And again, I think I still have it.
I think I should just ship this to his address. So after
You
I'm
feel
done
better,
reading
would
it,
you? Would you?
yeah, I still have it. Well, like I still remember his address when I was out there. So I'm like, maybe he still lives there. I
I
don't
should
know.
definitely send my cousin like a Barnes and Noble gift card, if nothing else. That would make me feel a little bit better. I could let that one go,
Yeah.
right?
Imagine checking out a book and you're like your fee is insane. And
Ha!
ugh. But I love libraries. I love the smell of like certain books if they're old.
Dude, the downtown library in Orlando is one of my favorite buildings in the world. I fucking love it. And then the fact that it's like a super cool library too is also top notch. It was one. It factored into me moving here. Like we scoped out downtown and we were like, this is a cool ass library. It definitely contributed. Like when we moved to town, we were like, hell yeah, downtown's got a badass library. This is gonna be fun.
The building's pretty old. Do you think it's
Yeah.
haunted?
Shit, probably. Never can thought about that, Sareth, but probably. Yeah, definitely. Almost certainly, right? Building
Yep.
that long, visited by that many people. Somebody's died in there for sure.
Indeed. Someone had to have like an overdose on the steps or something.
I was just thinking like maybe a heart attack on the stairwell or something, but sure, yeah, OD in the bathroom is definitely a possibility. Fucking like an angry librarian pushing you down the stairs, maybe. It all seems to happen on the stairs. I guess stay away from the stairs at the library.
Yep. ODB, overdose in bathrooms. Just I don't know why that came to me. Overdose bathrooms.
One of the few
OD.
things he didn't have as an Earthman.
Good stuff. So Russ, I think I remember like interviewing you a bunch of times during quarantine. And I interviewed those questions, those that I asked everyone when I was first doing those interviews that were like guerrilla style, man on the street. And so, do you want to update your answers, or are you comfortable with those answers?
So, Rev, I don't remember that interview. If you want to do it over again, let's see. Let's see what's up.
Sounds good. We'll do it all over again because I feel more comfortable asking you like an updated version, a 2023 version, because you never know.
This
You might.
might be the first time you're interviewing me not drunk. I usually am pretty to a blackout drunk while you're interviewing me.
You were on something else when I first interviewed you in Daytona.
Dude, that time I was on a number of grams of mushrooms and I think a couple bottles of champagne by that point, and weed. But yeah, my wife was driving that night, so I was having fun.
Indeed, we went to the Nog and that brewery in Ormond Beach. What was it called? Can't remember.
Can't fucking remember, but yeah, you tried to start to interview me like right when the mushrooms were kicking in, and I was like, Sareth, we're gonna have to like put a pause on this because I am in the star field from the warp drive of Star Wars right now. Like, you're just gonna have to let me get this under control before we continue this interview. Yeah,
Indeed, it was Tomoko Brewing. That's it. And
that place. Yeah, yeah.
and Big Tim was selling suckers in the front, or hot dogs or something in the front.
He
It was
may have had the hot dog cart. Again, I was blackout drunk and on a number of illegal drugs.
indeed. I loved him. He's like a hustler. I love that about him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He sells.
He's up at the West End in Sanford now.
Ah, yeah. I ran into him during a metal show called Hemlock. I met him in Colorado. It's pretty good.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Yep, he just taps me on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey, Big Tim, I didn't know you were here." And then Jason was running sound, and it was awesome.
Hmm.
Good stuff. All right, and those questions are: what inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
Oh yeah. Did I tell my Adam Carolla story?
Nope, can't
Oh
remember
yeah.
that.
I was like I started with Tom and Dan, and like I was listening to other podcasts, and Carolla was in a podcast, and he like a lot of his podcast at the time was him talking about how he had just started doing stand up comedy, and he used the phrase "easy money" like quite a few times, and I was like, I could probably do that for some easy money, and I didn't realize that you also needed to have like the millions and millions of podcast listeners for it to be like easy money, like he was talking about. And yeah, by the time I figured it out, I was hooked. It was too late.
Indeed, I love Love Line with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. That was
See, I
an
never listened to
inspiration.
that, but yeah, apparently that was big with people.
It was pretty big. I mean, they called in, and I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, "This is interesting."
I like Corolla's podcast because, like, I don't 100% disagree with him, but like, guaranteed every show he will say something that makes me so angry that like it's good for me to listen to while I'm trying to focus and do something, especially like driving. If I gotta like do a long drive, I'll put a shitload of Corolla on, and I'll just know he's gonna say something dumb that I disagree with, and it'll get me all fucking mad, and I'll be able to drive for a while.
Imagine listening to Corolla and a Corolla.
Whoa, Sareth, dude, that's crazy.
At a whole nother level.
Uh,
So, what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Imagine Dre Ivanberg Chrysler in a Chrysler.
Yeah.
What is this? Okay, yes.
Oh, imagine listening to Daniel Van Kirk in a van. Oh, um,
That's that's it. That's the one.
awesome. That's great.
Hmm.
And so what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
The first time was really good. I had fun. I really enjoyed it actually, and I think that video is still on YouTube. Like my one critique, other than weak material, which everybody's gonna have their first time doing stand up, is like it was so fast. I think what was 5 minutes in the mirror at home ended up being like 3.5 minutes, something like that. And so yeah, yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And what are some of your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
Dude, I don't listen to stand up. I like it's like professional sports for me. Like I'm not gonna watch it on fucking TV, but I like go to a game and have a hot dog and a beer. That sounds fun. I like watch a show at the Improv, but like I don't fucking watch specials on Netflix. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I When I was a kid, I had Dennis Leary No Cure for Cancer, and I listened to that like fucking a million times for sure. The asshole song.
Oh yeah, I love the Dazzle song.
Ah, yeah, it's so good.
It is. It came on the radio when I was
What
yeah. Well, it was like not on the radio, but like Duncan J played it at his comedy show tonight. I was like, I gotta bring
tonight?
back. Yeah, at Social Distance,
That's
and I
a
was
fucking crazy coincidence.
yeah. I'd say they named the bar out of Social Distance,
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
in
I've seen
Satellite
that
Beach.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, but it brought back so many memories. And like I picked up the George Carlin classic gold album, album, and I just like listened to that like on repeat. But it has like 7 words you can't say on television joke, like 2 different versions of it. And I picked it up at Remix Record Shop, which they let me put the flyer up, one of the flyers up for our show tomorrow. So it's gonna be pretty gnarly. Hopefully the thunder doesn't mess it up though, and the lightning. That's what I'm scared of.
The other thing I'll recommend is my friend Jay wouldn't shut up about Mitch Hedberg, and at the time I didn't know who Mitch Hedberg was, so I googled Mitch Hedberg, and I found this site with bootlegs of Mitch Hedberg sets. And I flunked out of UGA, which is in Athens, Georgia, which is where the 40 Watt Club is, which is this cool little fucking venue. I saw Guar there, like just a great little fucking cool venue in Athens. And I found a bootleg of Mitch Hedberg at the 40 Watt, and it was fucking. It was like a 45-minute hour set, whatever. And it was really fucking good. And then at the end, Mitch just goes, "All right, what do you guys want to hear?" And he lets people shout like joke starters at him for like the next hour, and he just tells everybody all the jokes they want to hear for like a whole nother hour. It was so fucking good. It's amazing.
Wow,
Until
that's
eventually they start like shouting the same stuff over, and he's like, "Did that one? Did that one?" He did like 3 that did that ones in a row. Again after like an hour. And the 3 did that ones in a row. And he's like, "All right, that's it, you guys. Thank you. Good night." And he probably went and did fucking heroin or whatever he did. Like,
it's like
but
strike three and
it's
you're out.
so fucking good if you can find a bootleg of Mitch Hedberg at the 40 Watt in Athens, Georgia. I highly recommend
I'll definitely have to look that up for sure. And let's see. So you got Dennis Leary. He was on some shows that
it.
about that
Rescue
flyer.
Me. Good
Rescue
show.
Me. That's it.
Really good show.
I did
I
not watch
actually
it.
saw they did a tour of him and I think what's his Lenny Jack or something, the big burly guy also from that show, and a couple other comics that were on that show did a comedy tour. And I won tickets from the radio to go see it. And me and my buddy Jay that I brought up a second ago, we went and saw it. It was really fucking good. So I've seen Dennis Leary live now. I think about it.
Damn, that's awesome. And he was on Rescue Me. And so, what are some of your other favorites? Sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films.
I love Cheers. I love Cheers so much. I'm probably gonna rewatch Cheers again soon. I just watched Smokey and the Bandit and Smokey and the Bandit 2, and they are so fucking good. They're so fucking funny. There's so many good, just like little moments and lines. I don't know if they make movies like that anymore, but it's so fucking good. And I just watched National Lampoon's Vacation, where they're going to Wally World, and it's another one. I think just like Smoking the Bandit, I've seen it like a million times, but always edited for TV. I've always seen it on TV, and there's so many things in these movies that I did not make it to TBS that are hilarious. They're such good movies. This National Lampoon Vacation is amazing, and then I watched Vegas Vacation. It's pretty fucking good too.
Gosh, I need to go rewatch all those because I have yet. It's been a long time.
All 4 of those you can go watch today, and you'll have a good fucking time. They're amazing.
Good stuff. And favorite sketch shows?
I liked SNL. I was always an SNL guy. Like Kids in the Hall were okay to me, but like a little bit like too like when you're drinking and going, look at the moon. The Look at the Moon sketch would be my like sketch that I would point to be like, that's why I don't like Kids in the Hall. Chicken Lady, I could do without Chicken Lady all day. Kids in the Hall definitely had their moments. I liked them, but I was more of an SNL guy. There was this fucking I liked Britcoms. I would stay up late and watch PBS, and they'd have Britcoms on. The Young Ones is fucking amazing. Remember Drop Dead Fred? That's
Yeah.
where that guy comes from. Yeah, I loved Britcoms, even like Ab Fab, Are You Being Served? Those weren't like my favorites, but I'd watch them.
Dang. I The Office started off as a Britcom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Office was a BBC with Ricky Gervais. It's really good.
Yep, yep, most definitely.
And
And
the guy that played Bilbo Baggins.
oh,
Or the
from
other
The
one. One
Hobbit.
of the hobbits. Yeah, one of the
Yeah,
hobbits.
indeed. Though I saw like Lord of the Rings, the extended versions, I'm like, never again. Those are just too long for me.
My wife loves them. We'll watch them probably like every 18 months. She insists on an all three extended version watch, and I'm fine with it. I like them a lot.
Well, that's a good space to like watch them then.
There's a let's see, yeah, there's a quote by Gandalf on the wall right there that my wife personally calligraphied. That's what that is.
Wow, she's so awesome. I'm glad
Yeah,
I got
she's
to see her again for Nick Pupo's one man show when you and Sean Finnerty were on the bill too. And when I saw Sean Finnerty, I remembered what you yell at on Tots with Ross. So,
fuck you, Sean Finnerty. I'm gonna have to tell him. I'm gonna see him next week at Will's Pub. We're doing a show together. I gotta tell him about how that's shook out.
oh, you're doing the Monday show, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
Larry's. What do you want from us? Audience chosen comedy show.
That's such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's
I,
really fun. We just sat down and talked about how it's going to go the other day, and it's going to be really neat. It's a fun idea, and he's got a lot of cool ideas to make it even more fun.
Indeed, I'm glad I got to see him there in person too. He's such a good fella.
I
And
love Larry. He had he had the only Tuesday night open mic when I started comedy, and he always ran it fairly and was a really great guy about it.
wow, what a good fella. I can't say
Mm-hmm.
enough things about the guy. He's just, when I interviewed him and we were just bored out of our minds during quarantine, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we got to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you can go on tour with any comedian locally and internationally known, which comedians would you like to go on tour with?
Ooh. Can I pick Gordon Ramsay? Can we count him?
Yeah, make him
Uh,
cook for you.
let's see. Who would be fun? Let's see. Who do I like? Who would be fun? I'd just pick somebody that I like hanging out with, like Tommy O'Neill. Like me and Tommy O'Neill would be a fun tour.
I miss him, and he's like living his life in LA now. Is he still in LA?
He's in Colorado now.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
Doing the same thing, living his life. One of the funniest motherfuckers ever. One of the nicest guys ever. That's yeah. I'd say Tommy O'Neill.
Wow.
Somebody
And
nobody who's listening knows. Just some guy I like. Fuck
yeah,
you guys. This is for me.
indeed. And Colorado has a really good comedy scene. So is he in Denver then?
I don't know.
Wow. Good stuff. I'll be there in July, so
Hit him
hopefully
up.
he'll
Hit him up for fucking Sareth Fest, dude.
that'd be awesome.
Hell
Hopefully
yeah.
his rate's not that expensive. And we'll
He'll
see
come
how
to fucking Sareth Fest.
I hope so. We're gonna be in a bomb shelter this year, so if his jokes don't land, we're gonna be all right.
Hilarious.
Yep. And like Rocky, Patricio Solano and
Yeah.
Altieri's going to be on the bill. So maybe it can
Nice.
be like an all Florida thing on the last day. That'd be
That'd be
pretty nice.
cool, right? That'd be cool.
Indeed. Got some like Colorado Springs buddies on there and stuff. It's going to be neat.
LA's got a fucking ton of Florida guys now. I see a lot of like Florida heavy lineups in LA now.
Yeah. Zach and Billy and all those guys.
Ian Van Leer, Carmen Morales. Yeah, there's a ton of those motherfuckers out there killing LA.
Yeah. I didn't know that Carmen moved back out to LA, so I'm glad she's back out there doing
Mm-hmm.
her thing. Yep. And like Zach, I saw him perform with Brainerd in Denver, and
Nice.
his shirt was a Sareth Fest shirt. I'm like, that is
Nice.
very thoughtful of you to wear my festival shirt in Denver and repping it.
That's
Maybe
super
he's
cool.
on the back. Who knows? You're on the back, but I know for
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah. I tell my wife all the time. I got my name on this shirt. Look at that.
Indeed, it's like how Florida doesn't have like a Colorado Hall of Fame, and I think that's like my way of like our Hall of Fames, like putting my buddies' names on the back, and
For
that's
a
cool.
while there, I was running when it was cold and I was running. I was running in your hoodie, and I told my wife to tell you if I got hit by a car running in your hoodie because it's black, and I would run at night a lot. I told my wife if I got hit by a car running in your hoodie, I tell Sareth to make the next version, the Ross McCoy Memorial version. And it just has a big reflective stripe on the back.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. Boy,
Only if I get hit by a car running in your hoodie. That is very conditional, Sareth.
all right, I will pray that you don't get hit by a car. But
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Much less
y-
run over, much less killed. Yeah, it's a whole system.
indeed. So you were on my roast. I still need to edit the jokes out
No,
and put
I
it on.
wasn't. No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No, I wasn't because we didn't roast you. We roasted Wu Man, Wu Man Chu.
Oh yeah, we forgot. Wu
Yeah,
Manchu was.
you haven't been roasted, Sareth Ney.
Yeah, that's true. But if you can get roasted,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was a
yeah.
fun time. I still have your jokes in my bag for some reason. I don't know
Okay.
why. But if you can get roasted by five comedians,
Oh
top five
shit.
dead or alive, which ones would you get roasted by?
My favorite roaster of all time is Norm Macdonald. I would love Norm on the dais for sure. Uh, uh, who's the little fucking pug face guy from Vegas? The classic insult. Don Rickles. We gotta get Don Rickles in there.
Face.
I gotta see him before I can name him. Let's throw Dan Van Kirk in there. Dan Van Kirk is
Yeah.
one of the sharpest fucking comics I can think of. That'll be a nice three. I want we're gonna round it out with a couple ladies, so let's go. Eliza Schlesinger is fucking an amazing roaster. She's in there, and what's her name? The one that does all the what's her fucking name?
Lindsay Glazer.
Is Nikki Glazer a roaster too?
Yep, and then Lisa Lampanelli.
Lisa. Okay, so I got Eliza Schlesinger and Nikki Glazer mixed up. So we went Nikki Glazer instead of Eliza Schlesinger, and then yes, Lisa Lampanelli is my fifth.
Awesome, excellent choices. And where do you see your comedy journey in the next 5 years?
Oh shit! Like I said, that's just say I think like he gets out of high school in two, and then that'll be a big once we get him off to college or trade school or Chinese work farm, whatever happens to him after that, we'll have to reassess. So it'll be more of a 2 year plan where we reassess Sarah.
Fantastic.
And it'll either be a more of the same. I know. Okay, in 5 years, realistically, where are we in 5 years? Exact same place, doing the exact same shit.
Heck yeah. Long live shit sandwich.
It's a good show. It's going real well right now. Things are real good in the Milk District. That show's got just tons of traction, and it's always fun. It's easy to book because people want to do it, and it's just yeah. I just try to stay out of the way and not fuck it up. That's my goal, and it's worked for the last 11 years. The last I don't know 8 or so with me at the head of it, and yeah, more of the same. Hopefully.
Most definitely. And let's see here. I can't believe it's been like because I think I went to the last one. I went to the 10-year anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe it's already been a year. That's nuts.
June.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
June rolls and what around every year like fucking clockwork, dude. It's crazy.
it does. Time does fly when you're an adult. It's just nuts.
Yeah. It's a matter of percentages. When you're 7 years old, a year was 1/7 of your life. It seemed like a long fucking time. Now it's 1/30th or 40th of your life. It's not as long.
Nope. Most definitely.
Mm.
And let's see here. Which other forms of comedy would you venture off into? I know that you're doing podcasting, so sketch writing, comedy writing, acting, directing,
Man,
etc.
I wish I could draw. It seems like it's so easy to be like a comic drawer. Like if you could just put a little sketch with your dumb joke, it seems to go so much easier. You know, like having a guitar on stage with you. You know, jokes are 25% funnier when you go I dun dun afterwards. You know, I wish I could draw because then I could like draw comics for my dumb little jokes that are where I'm like, and then the dog is like, you know, the shit you have to explain. The picture would explain it all, but I'm ham fisted at drawing.
Most definitely.
Also, I need. It's probably not even hard to do. I need to add Photoshop to the repertoire. For example, like I really, you know, have you listened to the new Weekend album, Don FM?
Mm-mm.
All right, he says the line. He says, "I know you won't let me OD," and I want to make like a little Photoshop of the Weekend with the mic, and he's saying, "I know you won't let me," and then there's Odie from Garfield. I don't like that's funny, right? But I don't. I can't Photoshop, so I can't do
Indeed.
it.
Um, good stuff.
Is
And
it? Is it
yeah,
Sarab?
I
I'm
love
not so
Odie.
sure.
And like when you said Odie, I thought of like Alex Gasparini's lasagna Garfield joke, and he just it's just I don't know what it is about Alex Gasparini's jokes, but they make me laugh, and it's just like I miss that dude whenever he comes here, he always stops at the Nog, and then I have him tell my favorite jokes. But he's like, Atlanta made me grow up. I can't say those jokes anymore. I don't even remember them. I'm like, well, that bites. Atlanta's missing out on some good quality stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed, it happens when you move to a big city and do stand up. You forget your old classics, you know.
It's true. I just talked to David Jolly. He's about to move to Austin soon, and he was saying there's a lot of comics in Austin now, but like not all of them are good.
No,
Yeah,
isn't that like every other big city? It's like LA has some bad comics, and like just every city has some bad
yeah,
comics.
yeah. Of course, though. I mean, the majority of comics bad right off the bat. So yeah, the comics of any city, majority bad. But like Cream rises to the top, and then ideally any show you go to is going to be at least. Yeah, never mind. That statement was going to be a lot. Not any show, but
Man,
the better shows you get to. Mhm.
can't believe David's moving to Austin. That sucks, Mr. Jolly. And like, what's gonna happen to the store?
I don't have those answers for you, Seth. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to
Indeed,
get an interview with him before he goes, real quick. Hurry up.
we'll definitely have to get him onto the show.
Hmm.
And let's see here. What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Uh, the one I really like Sean Finnerty's joke about the fewest amount of chicken wings you can get.
Chicken wings. Good stuff. I need to. I like my favorite joke of Sean Finnerty is like when he does the Irish anthem and he starts singing "Zombie" by Cranberries.
Uh huh.
Gets me every single time because like everyone's falling along with him, thinking it's the real like national anthem, and then he's like hits them with some cranberries.
I fucking love the Cranberries so much.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Mm.
Oh man, and he's always on plan on fire. He's such an amazing comic.
Hmm.
Hmm. And let's see here. What experience would you like your audience to take with him after a set is over?
Hopefully, it was fun.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it's all about. Everybody having fun.
Yep. My favorite joke of yours is the Wu Tang joke.
Hmm.
Yep. Always have to shout the Wu.
It's
Oh
getting
man.
harder and harder to do. I don't think people know Wu Tang that well anymore.
They need to watch the series and they'll be all caught up.
I wish, Sareth. I wish it would become a nationwide phenomenon, like fucking Tiger King or something, so that joke would work again.
Hmm. Ghostface Killer's gonna be in.
I saw that. He's
Yeah.
got some kind of weird deal where if you buy a hotel room for the night, you can meet him or something.
Oh, you can buy it separately for $170.
I was intrigued, and I considered trying to ask my wife about it, but I didn't. It
Oh,
seemed like a neat thing, but I didn't know how it would go.
indeed. I'm gonna go see that like the whole Wu Tang Clan in Tampa with
What?
the owner of the Nog.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
if it's in the September with De La Soul and Nas.
nice,
Yeah, good stuff. It's gonna
nice.
be at the pool at the Hard Rock at 11 in the morning. I was like, oh Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be because like I saw.
Well, they probably set it for 11 in the morning, so everybody in Wu Tang shows up by like 6 o'clock, right?
Probably
Yeah.
I'll be so mad. I'm like, yeah, like,
bring
cause it,
a bring a hat and a water bottle, Sarah.
indeed, and dress in light clothes,
Yeah,
and
right.
I saw like cause I saw on their flyer the poster it said special event. I'm like, what's so special about this one? And
It's
I
in the
saw,
middle of the goddamn day.
yeah, what are they thinking in September of all? There better be umbrellas and stuff. Tell you what. So, well, man. So this is the stand up speakeasy. So like, it's a secret society of stand up comics. So you have to be invited to join the group. So Ross, which five Orlando comics would you like to see as my guests on future episodes
Oh
of
shit.
the stand up speakeasy?
Oh shit, Sareth. I hate being put on the spot like this. Get Jake Ricka in there. He's a
Hmm.
good kid. Who else? I see too many comics to be able to do this. It doesn't. Ken Miller.
Awesome.
Uh, who else? I can't think of comics, Sarah. Uh,
Mr. Jolly.
well, he's fixing to not be an Orlando comic, but yeah, I already suggested him, so let's go there. Uh, get Get Danielle Matheson there, and then Caleb Davis.
Who?
Caleb Davis.
Oh, Caleb Davis. Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Look
I'm
at
glad
that.
you.
I remembered 5 comics names. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah. I'm glad you sprinkled in some new blood in there from,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's
Orlando
what I
has.
was, that's what I mainly see now with like open mic and shit. Like it's all new blood. It's crazy like when one of you fucking old guys comes back and we like sit out back and we're like, look at all the newbies. But they've all been around for like a year or two now, so it's kind of they're not that new anymore. We're just so fucking old.
Yep, we are old.
Hmm.
Can't believe it's like we met like a long time ago, like a couple of years now.
Yeah,
Say like 7, 8 years
a long time
probably.
ago. Yeah,
Yep, good times for sure. Ah, thanks for being on my guest on the show. And follow Ross on all of his social medias and like his and rate his podcast and donate to his his Venmo.
hilarious.
Uh, so, are you excited about tomorrow's show at the Fringe?
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I suck at that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm nervous.
I had to pick the best comics from Melbourne and Daytona and Orlando.
Hmm.
I thought it'd be easier. But I sure hope that thunderstorm doesn't mess up and steal our sunshine
We
tomorrow
got
night.
rough weather scheduled. They've been calling for the last couple days. It's been nice. We'll probably get lucky, Sareth.
Okay, sounds good. As long as they don't steal our sunshine, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be lem free
Sweet,
or lem positive, whichever one's sunny.
indeed. Sunny with a side of meatballs, or whatever that movie is called.
Hilarious.
So, Ross, any final words you'd like to give out to the audience at home?
No, I'm pretty good. Thanks, Sareth.
You're welcome, Ross. Anytime, dude. And thanks for being my guest. I will see you tomorrow at the Orlando Fringe, May
Yes,
18th
sir.
at the outdoor stage. We got some killers on the mic. It's going to be a wild time. High and dry comedy show.
I'll see you on
Be
the
well,
fucking
everyone.
lawn.
On the lawn. All right. Be well, everyone. Take care of each other. See you on the next episode. Peace.